Morning. I was able to connect and have our sunrise Qigong at 6 a.m. and had some technical difficulties with recording. And so I'm going to re-record because I've got time before spontaneous Qigong and have something that I can upload because I know that it's a helpful practice for many of us as we go throughout the week. So I'll be taking us through Guigen Qigong, and will be doing my best to model and guide, and won't be mirroring per se. I'm not exactly sure if it shows up as mirrored in the recording, because as I look at myself right now, it definitely is mirrored. So I'm not sure. So however it shows up, I'm going to be calling out the sides that I'm using. And so do your best to kind of either follow along mirrored if you have to, or follow along hopefully on the side that I'm calling out. It'll look appropriate for you. So here we go. In order to feel connected, we want to allow our imagination and our sensation of our nervous system to yield us those kinds of experiences, that experience of being grounded and rooted, that experience of being expanded and open up to the heavens. And so we just bring our awareness into our body and start to kind of feel and notice it. Come down and feel and notice our feet. There they are. There's the soles of our feet connected to the ground. And we come up and we feel our head. There it is, up on the top of our body. There's the top of our head with our ears on the sides. And so we try and feel both of those areas at the same time. We recognize that we've got space, we've got real estate between the feet and between the head. We just notice that. We bring our awareness to it as best we can. We come back down to the feet. We start to recognize and pay closer attention to the fact that our feet connect to the earth, that the soles of our feet are right there connected to our greatest influence of gravity. The earth is always pulling things towards it and down into it, down towards its core. And so our feet, as they relax and widen, they start to do the same. They grow these roots that reach down through anything man-made, anything human-made, and into the crust of the earth, reaching down towards the mantle, reaching down towards the earth's core. As those roots reach down, the earth, she responds. She vibrates those roots. She gives them a golden vibration that rises up and fills up the legs, fills up the torso, fills the arms, fills the head. Here at the top of the head, our seventh chakra opens like a portal. A silver light rises up, rises out of the stratosphere and into space, interacting with the sun and the moon and the stars. All the galaxies shine and twinkle down into that silver light, twinkling down into the rest of the body and the roots. We imagine this golden light start to wrap around the body, creating this golden glow of protection and nourishment. This filter only allows benevolent, beneficial things to come in, keeping out any malice, any distraction, anything that might draw off the body. Witness and feel this golden glow expand to fill the room that you're in. Potentially even further out as far as your imagination wants to reach it. See and feel yourself protected within this protected space. Grounded, rooting deep into the earth's core, and illuminated, lifting out into collective consciousness, to the universe at large. For Guigen, we really maintain and utilize this ambient qi that is around us. There is this great ocean or sea of qi that exists at the level of the waist. It has kind of different thicknesses as we move through it with our hands, kind of being on top and above is very effervescent. and kind of being at the level of the waist to the level of the hips has its own kind of thickness of experience, and being below the hips has a much thicker experience. So it's fun to play with that sensation. Once we get our chi flowing, we start to notice and feel. It's really fun to play. So we're going to gather and use our little magnet hands to gather this chi for much of this Guigen, to use it as a tool, to use it as a medium to clean and clear and saturate, regenerate. Gather with our palms. We'll do 3 pulling down heavens to begin to kind of clear us and clean us. We lift that earthly sea of chi up into the heavens. It connects with that sparkly energy of the heavens. And we just use it to pour right in through us, melting into resistance, down and out. The back relaxed, the knees relaxed, the shoulders relaxed, keeping our Wuji posture idea. One final time. Of course, Wuji posture means human posture. It's the posture that we come back to in our neutral position to support free flow of qi in the joints, free flow of blood through all of the turns in our highways of blood vessels and nerves and qi flow. Those to be nice and open. So our feet are directly under our knees, which are under our hips. There's a nice gentle bend to the knees, which opens the sacrum. This makes the shoulder blades want to relax down onto the back and make the neck nice and tall. The hollow in the armpits kicks the elbows out, brings the arms off of the torso. Plenty of chi flow. We'll move into Guigen, a 6-part Qigong form that takes us through the yin and yang, which are the 2 extremes, extreme sources of our energy. And then we'll move through each of the 5 elements and their respective organs. Start with the yin and yang, and gather chi. Up over the head, pour it down through the body. As our palms get to the level of the sea, we pivot around the spine, coming to the left side, palms facing the ground. Inhale, and that left hand starts to scoop in front of the body, scooping towards the right 45-degree angle. It lifts up in front of the face. This left arm lifts that chi up over the head. We exhale and pour it through the top of the head as we come back towards center, the hand guiding it down through the torso. As we finish our exhale, we pivot back to the left. We bend in the knees, we grasp into the sea of chi with our hands. We pull up, we stand up, and then we press as we exhale. We press our hands back towards that sea of chi. Inhale, palms facing the ground, coming back to the right side. Continue that inhale as we scoop the right hand across the front of the torso, lifting it up that left 45-degree angle up over the head. We pour it into the top of the head, melting it through the torso, guiding it down as we come to neutral position. Our left palm still facing the ground. As we reach the sea of chi with our right hand, we pivot back to the right. We bend with the knees, we grasp the chi, we stand up, and we press, exhaling. Inhale, coming back to neutral position, palms facing the ground. We exhale, and then we inhale, gathering with our scoops, lifting the chi up over the head. We exhale and melt right down through the head, the torso, the legs, right into the earth. Pivot at the spine, coming to the right. We inhale, scooping with the right hand in front of the torso, coming to that left 45 degrees. We lift it up over the head. Pour that chi with the right hand down through the top of the head, guiding it down through the torso. As we get down to the bottom of the torso, the palms face the ground. We rotate back to the right. We bend in the knees, grasping with the hands at the sea of chi. We stand up and we press. Inhale, pivoting around to the left side. Continue inhaling as we scoop that left hand in front of the torso, in front of the legs. Lifting it up in front of the body. Exhale, pouring it down to the top of the head, melting it through all the way down to the earth. Both palms facing the ground as we pivot around to the left, bending the knees, we gather, gripping, standing, caressing. Back to neutral. Inhale, gather with both hands, lifting that chi up overhead, we pour it down to the body. Maxing down to the feet. To the earth element. Inhaling, we gather chi out in front of the stomach. Exhale, we feel the presence of that chi. We feel it like a ball that we're pressing against the belly, the low ribs. We inhale, we draw love into the stomach. Healing and filling with this love. We exhale, taking any resistance to love out. Drawing it out like a smoke. Inhale, love. Exhale, resistance to love. Worry, doubt. Inhale, love. Aim it up to the esophagus, up the salivary glands. Then aim the palms down the belly, down the legs. Aim them down into the ground. Inhale, the arms come out to the sides into a T-pose. The palms face the floor. Exhale, we bend the knees, we bend the elbows slightly. Stoop down just a little bit before we inhale, filling the legs, filling the torso, filling the arms from the ground. Back into our T-pose. We exhale, we stoop a little bit further. Coming not quite all the way down, about halfway, and then we stand back up, inhaling, filling, coming out to our T-pose again, hold. We exhale, coming all the way to the floor this time if we can, listening to our back and our knees. Inhale, gathering with the hands, the earthly chi. We draw it up the legs, inhaling it all the way up into the belly. We exhale and pick one side of the ribs to focus on. One palm on top of the other, right at our energy centers. Inhale, love, coming across the torso, across the belly. We exhale, love, coming underneath the navel to complete the circle. Inhale, beaming love into our belly, into our intestine, into our torso. Exhale, beaming love in. Inhale, love. Exhale, love. Switch directions. Inhale, love going in. Exhale, love going in. Inhale, love going in. Exhale, love. Exhaling love. Keep those hands connected where they are and pivot on our energy centers so that our fingertips face the floor, shoulders remain relaxed. We inhale and draw that palm right into the navel, drawing love into the navel. Exhale, let that love radiate out the navel. Inhale love into the belly button. Let that love radiate out. Keep our shoulder blades relaxed. Inhaling love. Separating the hands, aiming that love up towards the salivary glands, the underside of the jaw. Exhaling, painting, aiming down the legs, out the feet. Gathering that chi ball in front of the stomach again. Exhaling, feeling it present. Inhaling love into the stomach. Exhaling resistance, worry, doubt. Inhale love. Exhale, worry, resistance, doubt. Inhale love. Aim it up the esophagus, up to the bottom of the throat, base of the tongue. Exhaling it, aiming it down the legs, into the earth. Inhaling, coming out wide with the arms. T-pose. Exhaling, stooping. Inhaling to fill and rise again. Exhaling to stoop lower. Rise one more time. This time all the way down to the ground, if your joints will allow. Gathering the earthly chi, we inhale, gathering it up to the opposite side of the belly this time. Exhaling to relax there, one palm on top of the other. Inhale, swooping across the belly. Exhale, completing the circle around the navel, bringing love into this abdomen. All this repeated love builds on itself, starts to stack, starts to bring more of a lightness, more of an appreciation and an enjoyment to this movement. One final circle. Which directions? Up, in. Relaxing the knees so you can even feel more of that soft gentleness of the love. One final circle for me here. Keeping the hands connected at their energy centers, aiming the fingertips, coming out, gathering love, inhaling into the navel. Keeping the shoulders relaxed and the neck long. Exhale and allow it to shine. Inhale, drawing it in. Exhale, allow it to shine. Inhale, love in. Separating the hands, aiming that love up through the torso to the underside of the jaw, the face, through the tongue, salivary gland. Aim it through the rest of the body, out the legs, into the earth. Gather the chi around, lifting it up over the head. Pouring it through, resetting you for the next section. Metal. Focus is on the lungs. Start with the right side. We pivot on the right heel, aiming that, that's my left heel. On the left side, we pivot on the left heel, left foot facing out. We allow that left arm in a nice graceful way to make its way to a shelf with that elbow into the ribs. My right arm comes up overhead as I inhale, as if I'm reaching into the cookie jar. As I get into the cookie jar, my shelf hand transitions and my palm faces the ground. Now I'm going to exhale and start to scratch on the back side of that hand, the back side of that leg, or that arm, all the way to the shoulder and the chest. I'm going to pivot on my left heel, bringing it back forward, and bring my left palm into prayer position at my chest. My right hand continues a U underneath my navel, bringing that U right back to the chest, where I can pivot my right heel out to the side. I inhale and allow that arm to reach out. I bring a chi ball with my left hand down that right arm to that right palm. Then I turn my palm over towards the floor and I scrape the backside of that hand, that forearm, that right upper arm to the chest. I pivot my right foot forward again, bring my right hand into prayer position as my left fingers make a U under my navel up to the opposite chest. I pivot one more time on the heel on the left side, extending my left arm into a shelf as I inhale, drawing that ball of chi down to the palm. This time the ball stays. As I exhale, I pivot my left foot forward and bring that chi ball in front of my lungs. I exhale and notice it here. I inhale and draw this love into my lungs, making space. I exhale any grief, sadness, guilt, that might resist the flow of love in my lungs. And then I inhale love, saturate and fill. Any resistance comes out like a smoke or like heat vapors off my chest. And I inhale love. Transition my hands as I exhale to aim my fingers and hands at my nose. I inhale love into my nose and sinuses. Exhale any resistance to love. Inhale love into my nose and sinuses. Exhale any disbelief, any resistance. Inhale love. Transition my hands to the palms face the floor. My elbows are out wide. I exhale, pressing down any exhausted chi down and out the body and out the feet into the earth. Do the opposite side now. So my right foot pivots out. My right arm gracefully curves into a shelf. My left arm comes up overhead as I inhale. Reaching into the cookie jar, I turn my right palm face down and I can exhale and scrape along the back side of the arm to the shoulder. I pivot that right foot forward as I bring that right hand into prayer position, that left hand making a U under the navel to the opposite shoulder. I inhale, allowing that arm to roll out into a shelf. Continuing that inhale, I bring that chi ball in the right hand down to the palm and rotate that palm facing the ground. So now my right hand can scrape up the left arm up to the shoulder. I pivot that left foot forward. I bring that left hand back into prayer position as my right hand makes a U under the navel coming to the same side shoulder. I pivot my right foot out to the side one final time. I roll that right arm into a shelf. I continue that inhale as I roll that chi ball with the left hand down to the right palm. They hold on and maintain that chi ball. As I exhale, pivoting my right hand forward, I bring the chi ball in front of the chest, relaxing in front of the collarbones. Inhaling, I bring that love right into the lungs. Relaxing the shoulder blades down. Exhaling, I feel the neck long. I feel any resistance leaving me. I feel myself more buoyant, more alive with love. Exhale and release any exhaustion, anything in the way to feeling this love. I fill with love. Transition my hands to the nose and sinuses as I exhale and inhale love into the sinuses. Exhale any resistance in the middle of the head, flow. Inhale, love, flow. Exhale, resistance, impedance, friction, dryness. Inhale, love. Palms face the ground, exhaling any exhausted chi down and out. Gather the ambient chi around, lifting it up over the head, washing through us. Resetting us for the water element. Inhale, the palms are buoyant. They're lifted up by these bubbles that lift the arms straight out in front of the chest, in front of the collarbones. Exhale, bending the knees, bending the elbows. We stoop just slightly. On the inhale, fill the legs and torso, fill the arms back up. We stoop a little more as we exhale, the hands coming down towards the knees. Inhale and fill one last time. While we exhale, bring the palms all the way down to the kneecaps, where we circle the kneecaps one time and continue down to the feet. Gather the chi, painting it up the arches, up the inside of the legs as we inhale, bringing it all the way up. Exhaling it, bringing the hands behind us, extending behind, ready to gather chi and press it into the kidneys. As we inhale, we press chi into the kidneys. Feeling it saturate and fill. As we exhale, we draw off any resistance, letting our neck grow long, letting our shoulder blades relax. We inhale love into the kidneys. Exhale any resistance to feeling this love. Inhale love into the kidneys. We allow our hands to come out to the sides and travel up in front of the chest as we exhale, bringing our hands and fingers to the back of the neck at the base, the root of the neck spine. We inhale, coming up over the top of the head, coming to the third eye, and then exhaling to crest back to our original position. Inhaling, coming up and over to the third eye, exhaling, traveling back down to the base of the neck. Inhaling one last time, up to the third eye. We insert the fingertips into the third eye region and exhale, draw it open, opening it like a portal. The hands come to the sides of the head, aiming at the ears. We inhale love into the ears, into the middle of the head. We exhale, drawing away any resistance to love. We inhale love into the ears, into the head. We exhale, drawing up any resistance to love. We inhale love directly into the head. Our fingertips come to the back of the head, the back of the skull. As we exhale, we bring those fingertips over the top of the head. We continue exhaling and aim our hands down towards the floor, scraping off any exhausted chi. We're leaving it out the feet into the earth. Inhale, buoy those hands up to the collarbones. Exhale, bending the knees, bending the elbows, stooping, only to fill and rise again. Where we stoop a little lower, almost to the knees with the hand before we rise one final time, filling. Coming all the way down to the kneecaps. We circle the kneecaps once. Coming down to the ground, we gather with the fingers and the hands this water chi that we draw up through the torso. We exhale as we bring our arms out and away, ready to saturate and fill the kidneys. Inhale, pressing in, saturating. Keeping the shoulders down, the neck long. Exhale, any resistance. Out the bones, out the feet, out the joints. We inhale love into the kidneys. Exhale, any resistance in the ribs, face, and neck. Inhaling love into the kidneys. We glide the hands to the side, coming up the ribs to the front of the chest. We continue exhaling until the fingers meet at the base of the spine on the back, the base of the neck spine. We inhale, coming up the neck, cresting over the top of the head to the third eye. We exhale, coming back through the mohawk, back down to the base of the neck. We inhale, traveling up over the head to the third eye. Exhale, coming back to the base of the neck. Inhaling one final time, we come up to the third eye and insert the fingers into the third eye. Exhaling, we pull it open, bringing our hands to the sides of the head, aiming at the ears. We inhale love into the ears, into the middle of the body. Knees are relaxed, back is relaxed. We exhale any resistance to the flow of love within us. We inhale love into the ears, deep into the brain. Exhale any resistance. Inhale love, saturating, bringing the fingertips to the back of the skull. We guide along over the top of the head to the third eye, and then we exhale, pressing any exhausted chi down out the body into the earth. Gather the chi that's around, lifting it up over the head, pouring it down through and out the Inhale as we move into the plant elements, the liver, driving the arms out to the sides. We fill completely before looking up and pivoting the arms, facing the palms towards the ceiling. We inhale, looking forward, reaching up onto the tippy toes if we can. Gathering. We exhale, coming back down onto the flat feet. We pull that chi back down onto our scalp. And we inhale, starting to circle it through the scalp. Exhaling to complete that circle. Inhale, moving it through the scalp. Exhale, completing our circle. Inhale, circling both sides of the scalp. Exhaling to complete it where we entered into the scalp. And then inhale, gathering the thoughts that we've peeled off, that we've loosened, gathering them down in front of the chest, down to the sides of the ribs, exhaling them down to the level of the mid-thigh, inhaling the arms, the hands back up into the ribs, exhaling, pressing down to the level of the knees this time as we stoop. Inhaling back up, hands go to the level of the ribs. This time we press all the way down to the floor if our joints allow. We can gather the ambient chi of the earth, draw it up the front of the legs, up to the level of the ribs and the liver and the diaphragm, and exhale and allow the arms to come out, ready to saturate that area with chi. We inhale, pushing love, dropping, filling love into the liver, the gallbladder, diaphragm, the stomach, the spleen, the pancreas. We exhale any resistance in this area to love. Inhale love, saturating, relaxing, making space. We exhale frustration, anger, bitterness, resentment, regret. Inhale love. Transition our hands in front of the eyes as we exhale, and we inhale love into the eyes. Exhale any disbelief, any resistance to love. Inhale love. Exhale any exhaustion, misgivings. Inhale love. Pushing the hands to face the ground with the palms, we exhale, pressing any exhausted chi down the system and out the feet and the roots. Inhaling, the arms come out to the side. Exhaling, we look up at the ceiling and aim the palms there as well. Inhaling, we come up onto the balls of the feet if we can. Gathering the arms up over the head, we gather the chi into a ball. We exhale, going back onto our flat feet, we draw that ball back into the scalp. And we make an opposite circle from our last time. Inhaling to initiate the circle, exhaling to complete it, circling these sides of the scalp. We clear away thoughts as we inhale. Anything that's not serving the flow, we exhale and gather it. Inhaling to collect anything that might not be helpful. We exhale and gather it into one place. We inhale and pull all that we've gathered down off of the head, off of the neck, down in front of the shoulders, down onto the sides of the ribs. We finish our exhale, pressing it down into the earth. Our palms come to about the level of the mid-thigh. We inhale, filling, saturating again with earth chi. Our palms up to the level of the ribs. We exhale and press those palms down to the level of the knees. Inhaling to fill. We take any last thoughts that are not serving the body and we press them down and out the side of the body, out those legs, out those feet into the earth, where we can gather beautiful replenishing chi. And inhale, filling with green for the liver as we come back up. Exhaling to put our hands in position to saturate that liver. We inhale, bringing love, life into the liver, gallbladder, spleen, stomach, pancreas, diaphragm area. Anything that's resistant is exhaled like a smoke or like a vapor. Inhaling love, Exhaling resistance. Inhaling love. Exhaling, getting position for the eyes, and inhaling love into the eyes. All that we see becomes love. Anything that we misunderstand or miscomprehend is released. And all we see is love. Any misgivings, any doubt, they come off like a smoke or like heat vapors and are replaced by love. Any leftover exhausted chi just gets guided down the body, out the torso, out. We gather the chi that's around, lift it up over the head, pour it down through transition into our final element, which is fire, and the organ is the heart. So we want to gather fire into a jar. So we're going to do it on our left side first. So our left hand holds on to the base of that jar. And in order to hold the weight of that jar, we put all of our weight into this left foot. This right foot, I'm able to pick up very easily. I'll take my right hand and I'll come over on top of that jar and hold the lid onto that jar. Now I have all this emphasis on this jar on the left side of my body, and it makes it very easy to bring that right foot without any weight on it and just put my toe down next to my left foot. Now I step out with my right foot coming out in front of me, and my right arm that was holding the top of the jar just comes straight out, still facing the ground. My left arm that was holding the base of the jar stays in its same orientation, palm facing the sky, but it comes directly behind me. I'm going to transition and put my weight onto this back foot so that I can look behind me and I can rotate my arms. I can twist them in the other direction. Now my back hand is facing the floor. My front hand is facing the sky. As I inhale, I come back onto that front foot. I rotate back into my original position with the palms. And then I exhale, coming back onto that back foot, rotating those palms again. I inhale one more time, coming forward. My hands in their original positions again. And I exhale one final time with my hands in their switched position. And I'll notice now that my back hand, my left hand, that I can scoop it. I can scoop it and come right underneath that jar of fire. So I go ahead and I scoop and grab onto that jar of fire. And I bring my right hand right on top, just as it was before. And I can bring my right foot back in next to my standing leg. Now I can put my feet right next to each other and drop off that jar in front. Do the other side to stay balanced. I have to remember where I was for a second. So my right hand is going to come under and hold onto that jar. My left hand is going to hold on to the lid of that jar, keep that fire contained. Doing this gives me access to full weight on my right foot, and my left foot can come and just put the tip of my toe or the ball of my foot down on the ground. Here I'll inhale, putting that unweighted foot forward, my left foot, and that same arm comes out in front while the back arm stays in its orientation back behind me. I inhale as I come back onto my back foot, and I rotate my arms so my palms are facing the opposite direction. Exhale as I come forward and my palms go back in their original place. Inhale, coming back. Exhale, forward. My last time coming forward. I inhale back. My hands are in the right position to grab onto that jar of fire again. So my back hand comes underneath. To hold that jar of fire, my top hand comes over to contain it. And my foot, my left foot, can come back onto either the ball of the foot or onto my toe. I bring my feet parallel and drop that jar right in front. I open my chest by opening my thumbs out and back behind me, extending my arms, and also lifting my chin up towards the sky as I inhale. I exhale, gathering chi up overhead, staying flat on my feet. Exhale and drop that energy that I gathered right into my low belly, right into my chest, through my head. I then rotate my palms facing the sky. I inhale, coming onto the balls of my feet, and I reach up high into the sky, high into the heavens. I gather between my palms a flame, and I bring that flame down in front of me. As I come down back onto my heels, I bring this flame all the way down in front of my heart, tipping my fingertips forward. I open my palms up and away to contain this fire between my chest and my palms. Inhale the fire into my heart and pericardium. Its ultimate love burns away any resistance, any restriction, any stagnation. I exhale any anxiety off like heat vapors off my chest. Inhale love and this fire, stoking my divine flame. Any resistance rises off like a heat vapor. I fill with love. Bring my hands up the base of the head and smooth this love, this fire all the way through me, through my roots into the earth. Now to stay balanced, we'll go through the whole series of that heart, starting on the opposite side. So this time my right hand will gather that jar of fire. My left hand will contain it so that my left foot can be relaxed. My left foot initiates stepping out as I inhale, putting my arms in their position. I exhale, coming back onto my heel, rotating the palm, inhaling to come forward, exhaling back, inhaling forward, exhaling back, inhaling to gather that jar of fire on my right side, bringing my left foot back to touch. Bring my feet parallel and drop the jar of fire in front of me. I gather the jar of fire on the opposite side. Left side holding onto the jar, right side holding the lid on. My right foot can come off of the ground, just touch the toe or the ball of the foot. I step forward with the right foot, inhaling, bringing my arm out, my right arm facing the ground, my left arm facing the sky behind me. I exhale, bring back onto my back leg, rotating the palms. Inhaling to come forward. Exhaling to go back. Inhale forward. Exhaling back. Inhaling, gathering the jar of fire. Bringing the right foot back to its original position. Exhaling, the feet parallel, dropping the fire off. Opening the heart as we inhale. Thumbs go wide and back. Chin opens. Exhale, gathering the chi over the head. This chi we're going to drop into the lower and the middle dantian, the low belly and the chest. Fill. Rotate the palms back over towards the sky. Inhaling to grow tall. Gather the fire between the palms, exhaling to draw that fire down in front of you. Tilting the fingertips forward, we open the palms. Exhaling, feeling that presence. We inhale love into the heart. Exhale, anxiety, resistance. Inhale, love into the heart. Exhale, anxiety, resistance. One final time, love into the heart. Shine it up into the base of the skull. Shine it all the way through the torso, the arms, shine it through the legs, through the roots into the earth. Gather the chi overhead, wash it down through. So that completes Guigen. We've generated a lot of chi, not only inside of us and inside of our sphere, but also in this space that we've been occupying. And so we want to make the most of this time and make the most of our generation by putting this ambient chi back into our bio battery here in the low belly, just below the navel, above the pubic bone. It's called your lower dantian. And it's like a little singularity, like a little black hole in the middle of a galaxy. Our galaxy is so bright, so able to see them at these amazingly great distances because of the amount of light and energy that surrounds that little black hole. So same for us, we have this little singularity that's always drawing things into it, and by way of doing that creates a generating, a revolution, an amassing of energy, and we get to add to that. We use our little magic magnet hands to gather the ambient chi that's around, gathering all that we've created and made that's ready to be saturated into our batteries, and we do that. Do just that. We saturate, we drift, we fill, we allow. Gather again. Gathering it out there in front of the third eye. Just drop it down into the belly. Drop it into the lower dots. One hand over top of the other. Gather one final time. Feeling complete, feeling whole, feeling rested mentally, emotionally, feeling spiritually refilled, ready for the day, ready for the week. Buzzing. It's gonna be a good one. Let's make a complete circuit of ourselves to finish here. So our feet and our hands are the entries and exits of our meridians. So by bringing them into a connection like this, we create a whole complete circuit within ourselves, as well as with the earth and the heavens. Namaste. Thank you so much. Love doing sunrise Qigong with you. I'll see you next week.